Hello and welcome to another episode of Ghana's in Africa podcast. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. I hope you had a great week like the Arsenal because we had a wonderful week in terms of games and winning. Last week we beat Forest at the Emirates and we went away to Bilbao to collect 3 points at the Champions League. Hopefully that continues when we play City this weekend on Sunday. Again, please like and subscribe on this channel. I really appreciate it. And you can also, if you want to listen in audio, we are on Spotify. The link is in the description before. I'll appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much. As I mentioned, we are playing City at home. The last time we met them, we trashed them 5-1. It was an amazing day. I think in that game we showed our level. As much as they had a really difficult season last season, they finished third in the league, meaning that they sort of recovered towards the back end of the season, but you can take that in the thrashing that we gave them. So on this episode, I'll be reflecting on the Bilbao win, and also some news at the club, quite a few news, and the Women's Champions League draw was done on Friday, and then we'll preview the game. So let's start off with the win at Bilbao, a 2-0 away win at Bilbao. I saw a stats that said they only lost 4 games at home before our game, and then our game is the 5th. That showed in the game because they were quite a really good, very aggressive team. They were very physical in the game. I think the first 20 minutes it was like really, I think it was a bit cagey in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then the next 10 minutes they were so aggressive in their press. They didn't give us time in the ball, and we kept losing the ball. But we stayed in the game. Didn't concede much chances. I don't remember any save that Raya made in that first 20 minutes. And then we started growing into the game. We started getting behind them as well. We started pushing them back, and we continued the game. It was quite physical. There were quite a few head injuries in the game. I remember Gyökeres and Gabriel clashing, had a big gash on his head. And then I think Mikel Merino as well. And then someone from their side was subbed off because of head injury. Yeah, it was quite a physical game. The atmosphere, the noise in that place. I wonder how it was like at a stadium, but because while watching on TV, it was quite raucous, quite loud. It's a great team, a great club for that city. I think a lot of positive reviews for them, especially listening to many Arsenal fans who were there. They had a great experience in that game, but we won 2-0 from our bench. I think showing that our squad is really good and we can win games now from the bench. And Mikel Arteta, like he's always called them finishers. See it in rugby. It's a term, rugby term. Like in South Africa, the world champions, we call it the bomb squad. The guys who finish the game. So imagine you play 60 minutes of physical, hard game, and then Arsenal bring on Martinelli and Trossard from the bench, and then they go win the game. So, which is something I think, obviously, the English media will always try to make something out of nothing. So, trying to create talking points and stuff, which is obvious. But yeah, anything that Arsenal or Arteta does, it becomes newsworthy. So, meaning we are big. When you're big, you're big. I think the Bilbao game is a great 3 points for us. I think it's a good start. There were some great Champions League games in this week as well. But I'm happy with our win. We are part of the top 8 already, which means nothing at the moment. But going to the next few games, you get 3 points against Olympiacos. Suddenly you are in the top half of the teams. So some big games are again in the next round for some teams. So it's good for us. It's a good start. Champions League game. I was happy with how we finished the game as well. Martinelli and Trossard coming off the bench to win the game, and also we saw debuts from Piero Hincapié and Christian Norgard getting their debuts, and they look steady. Norgard and Hincapié as well. Another great performance from Christian Mosquera. Everyone has been talking about him, especially that Saliba was available and on the bench, and the guy just performed well in that game. I was so impressed. Like I've been impressed in the last 3, even the Liverpool game and the Forest game. He was really good. He's very calm on the ball. like I like how he steps on the ball and waits for the defender for the position to commit, and then he plays it through the lines and he passes it. His defensive is how he reads the game. There was a point in that game where there was a 2-1 against him. He was just staying on his feet, closing the passing lane, and he won the ball from that. I was like, oh, this good. This guy is good. I think many people didn't expect this, but I think credit to the Arsenal scouting department and Andrea Peta for getting this guy for 13 million, which is a pretty bargain. That's why Valencia were vexed and their fans were really mad at the club. But great signing for us. Was impressed with Gyökeres again. I think he's improving each game in how he combine with his teammates, how he moves, and then they started to understand him, which is going to be great. And Noni Madueke again had a great game. I think one thing he will probably need to improve is his final ball and his decision making in the last third. I had a chat with a Chelsea fan this week after they lost. So I told him, like, look, with Arteta's coaching and coaching at Arsenal, I think that will improve for Madueke. His final third, like he beats them and he does all the great work in beating his men, getting to the byline. It's more about what decision he makes. That I feel that that's not only on him, it's on his teammates as well. What type of run do they make? Like Wenger used to say, like, don't think about where you want to get the ball as a forward or in the box. It's more about the run, like how your teammates runs and how he plays. You get to understand where do you think he will play. Be on his island where he will probably find you, because it's not about just you moving. You will need to move according to what you expect from your teammates. So I think he will get there. I think some runs, I'll think, especially on the right with maybe Odegaard or Merino or Timber, stay on top of the box, wait for a cutback. Your quarters run into the first post and the left winger comes closer, or Declan Rice or Merino plays on the left eight. Be on top of box or come get tied to the defender and move people around so that he can find a space to put the ball in. I think it's gonna improve. I think it's gonna be key again in our game against City. And then in terms of the news this week, the news like broke out on Friday that Tim Lewis is leaving and Richard Garlick is going to be the new CEO for the Arsenal. Congratulations to Richard Garlick. I think he's rose up to the team. I think last CEO was Vinay, who left to Tottenham. And then there's other new board members that have joined. And Josh Kroenke, who's been very prominent in the past few seasons, he will be taking a more prominent role at the club. I think there's been a lot of changes in the last year or so at the club. We saw Edu leaving. The first Vinay left, and then Edu left. Jason Ayato as well, leaving. Tim Lewis now is leaving. There's quite a lot of people. Hopefully these guys are going to help the club move forward and take us to new heights and start winning trophies. Hopefully it's the start of a dynasty at Arsenal. Congrats and good luck to them. Then Arsenal, the Women's Champions League draw will take place. Of course, we are the defending champions of the Champions League this year. We joined Lyon, Madrid, teams we played on our run to the final last season. Got Benfica, FC Twente, and OS Leuven from Belgium. Quite a tough draw, especially Lyon, Madrid, and Bayern. Taking away from the other clubs, it's always tough in the Champions League, but I think the start of the season has been good for us. I think we won our opening games in WSL and we play Man United this weekend. I think the squad looks really good. We've got top players. I think there's been a lot of talk about certain players who haven't been played this season. Janana Iswanga, Karakuni Cross hasn't played enough. So Katie Reed starting at centre back ahead of Codina and Lotte Wubenmoy, which is interesting as well. But I think, look, this season is long. Players are going to play because we've got a lot of games. I like some of the players who started the season. At the start of the season, Beth Mead has contributed like she does. She has a role of coming off the bench, finishing games like she did in Champions League. Stina Blackstone scored again from the bench. She does that. Frida Maonen, I've been happy with it, with her performances. Alessia Russo scoring. She also taking penalties when Kim is on the pitch, which is interesting. Maybe she wants to score more goals this season. I think few players. I mean, Emily Fox, obvious, consistent, very consistent, probably the best right back in the world. Steph Catley at left centre back. She's really taken into that position to make her own. In our Champions League run, she was impressive last season. Who's the other players that's been contributing? Uh, Olivia Smith, our big signing of the summer, came off the bench last time and provided an assist and won a penalty, which is impressive for her, and especially that to bring her off the bench when we play West Ham. Chloe Kelly missed the last game, but she started the season well as well. Yeah, it's been wonderful for the team. Mariona and Kim have been not at their brilliant best, but they've contributed in the team in the performances. I think this season, my focus when I win the I want us to win the WSL. I think we have a strong squad. I think we play good football, we're good defensively, and yeah, hopefully we win the league this season. Come on, you guys. Um, and then we go to the City preview, as mentioned with Thursday and 5-1 the last time. They were hurt by that and they will want revenge. Yeah, saw something, a quote from Rodri, that they are going to the Emirates to win. Hopefully you come to win and play, because it will make it a good spectacle, because I know how we play at the Emirates. We're very strong. Haaland is in great form. I think he scored four goals or 3 goals in the international break. And he scored against United. Foden is back in the team. They look strong. But I was not convinced in the way they played against United. I think the first 20 minutes was trash of a game. Those teams lacked quality. Defensively, City are not very secure. The way United were playing around them, getting behind their midfield and going through. I think they need to improve. And then on Thursday, they play Napoli in the Champions League. Napoli were defending well, and they got the red card. And then City struggled even in that game when they playing against 10 men. And the other thing, they were playing on Thursday, we played on Tuesday away. They played at home. Maybe that will make a difference in terms of who's ready, who's fresher, especially with our squad as well, and how strong we are at home. So we'll probably keep the game tight for a little while, the first 20, 30 minutes, and then we up the tempo of the game. Like we did last season. I think last season we sort of went at them in the first 20 minutes and then we slowed it down, and then they got into the game, and then in the last half of the game we really upped the tempo physically, especially after they equalized. We went up another level. They couldn't live with us in that game. Hopefully we continue with that, especially with the bench that we have this season, where we could actually raise the level of the game. For them, key players will be probably Haaland, as mentioned. In their midfield, Rodri is back. He's not at his level yet. They've got Reijnders, who's been talked about a lot. For me, he hasn't been as consistent, probably as the new league, because I think they lost 2 consecutive games against City and Brighton. Yeah, no, they lost against Tottenham and Brighton. They trashed Wolves in the first game of the Nero. I was talking about them. And they trash United again. Everyone is high on them again. But I'm not convinced. I was not convinced by them I think when Pep renewed his contract, I was not convinced. I felt like I think Pep should have left. And then they started rebuilding. But anyway, yeah, man, look, I'm looking forward to this game. I'm sure they're going to come to play, because last season hurt them. And I hope they come to play, because I'm tired of teams coming to the Emirates and just sitting back and not trying to play football. On the Arsenal, I think we probably, I think Mikel mentioned that Saka, White, and Odegaard having trained all week. They will probably see in the last session on Saturday to see if they will be ready for the game. I think it doesn't matter. There's no pressure for them to be available, because we have so many options now. But they are our key players as well. I think in terms of tactics for us, I think we need to be more, obviously, solid in defense. Obviously, dominating position. That's how they like to dominate. But I feel City have changed the way they play. They are more direct now in the way they play. I think if we dominate position and dominate them physically, like we did last season, we're gonna win the game. Especially in midfield, I think how we set up in midfield will dictate how we play the game. In terms of the last few games, Merino, it's been Zubimendi, Rice, and Merino in midfield. They I think the physicality of the game, they contribute to that physicality of the game and how we manage the game in general. It's different to what Odegaard provides in the game. And then Ethan Oneri is quite different as well. So those are the options, and it doesn't matter which option we go with. We still need to be able to dominate, to contain. It's a big game. Normally in big games, there are spells for teams the way they take control. Usually at home, I would love us to be more direct this time when we play City, more direct, especially with the runners we have, because I'm sure they're going to play high line with Madueke, Gyökeres running in behind. You know, you're gonna have to be more direct with them. Don't keep it too much. Like when we usually lull ourselves with passing the ball slowly in our half. Well, what we usually more dominant when we push the team back to play in their half, but this time because they're gonna play high, we need to play the balls in behind. I'm still interested in if Martinelli is gonna start in this game because he usually plays well in the big games. Although he struggled against Liverpool, I think after the Bilbao goal that he scored and the assist that he had, he's probably feeling more confident. Maybe Mikel will try that option of Martinelli on the left with or Madueke on the right, pace in behind with Gyökeres as well, who likes to run in behind. Yeah, interesting. It will be an interesting, but I'd love to see us playing more direct against them at home, especially when we look for the first goal. When we play direct, there's a chance that we're gonna push them back and we're gonna create a few corners as well. Set piece game usually breaks the big games. We saw how we dominated them on set pieces last season, so hopefully we are more direct. And then some of our key players to look for, I think Zubimendi and Rice pivot will be key, as mentioned before, to dominate the game, to control the game, to close down the spaces, especially in their midfield, the runs that Foden and Reijnders like to make. And the defense, depending who plays between Saliba and Mosquera, I feel like Saliba will come back on this game. It's a big game, especially the Haaland factor, who I think the start that he only had 2 shots in the last 4 games we played against them, which is a great performance from the team, and the fact that we nullified their strongest player on the pitch, which is Haaland, is in great form. He probably would have learned last season and learned how to play. I think he enjoys the battle with those 2 guys, and they enjoy playing against him as well. It's going to be a top game. And then my play tip lineup would be I think I'll continue with the team that started in Bilbao, Raya, Timber, and probably get Saliba in back for Mosquera. Nothing better for Mosquera. I think it's probably they would have learned. They will put a strategy in how to play him because they've sort of they have enough to see how he plays, what characteristics well, what sort of behaviors he has on the ball, off the ball, where he runs to, how he defends, and all stuff. So they will probably they will put a plan in terms of playing against him. I'll probably come back with Saliba and Calafiore left back and Zubimendi Rice. And then I'll continue with Mikel Merino, and then Eze Madueke and Gyökeres up front. And then we have a strong bench anyway, with Martinelli and Trossard in there. Probably Odegaard will be available. And the likes of Nkapie, Mars Louis Kelly, Christian Nogard, Max Darment, and Ethan Oneri on the bench. I think we can make this one 3-1. I think we can win this game 3-1 at home. Goals from probably Gyökeres will get another home goal. Eze, he's always played well against the big teams. Madueke get his first goal. Come on, you Gunners. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe in the channel, and you can also listen on audio on Spotify, and you can follow us on social media. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram and Threads. It's Gunners in Africa, and then you can search for us at Gunners in Africa on Spotify. I'll add the links below on the description. Thank you for watching. Come on, you Gunners. Hello and welcome to another episode of Gunners in Africa podcast. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. It's a Champions League week. We play away at Bilbao in Spain for our first game there. We play them, of course, in the preseason. Not that that means much going to this game. Yeah, we had a great weekend as well. I hope you had a great weekend. A win against Nottingham Forest, a 3-0 win. So in this show, we're going to be talking about that, how the team played, some of the top performance as the key players I've highlighted in our preview show for that game. And then we're going to preview the Champions League game at Bilbao and look at the key players there and how probably starting 11, prediction for starting 11, and some of the key players that we're going to be, I think, we're going to be looking at, especially the Spanish influence and the Basque influence that is huge at Arsenal with Arteta, Zubimendi, Merino. Unfortunately, Odegaard won't make it there. Yeah, man. Let's start. Reflect on the Forest game. A 3-0 win. I predicted a 2-0 win with Victor Kyokara scoring, and we're going to score from a set piece. Yeah, Victor did score a goal, and he scored from a set piece. But yeah, it was a brilliant game. I think it was a great performance. I think the first 25 minutes we were dominant, very dominant, but we weren't really creating shots at goal. We didn't have much shots at goal. I think our wingers were very effective. I think my man of the match will be Noni Madueke. I think he's growing into the role, especially playing on the right. And what I was happy about was the fans were singing his name. He got a standing ovation when he was going off. I think he had the Nottingham Forest makeshift left back Morato on toast. Every time he got the ball, he went to him, turning him inside out. Great performance, getting the ball in the box as well. But unfortunately, Forest defended well. But he had a really, really good performance as well. In the first half, he had some flashes, dropping shoulders and stuff. And then in the second half, he was more effective. In the second half, I was happy with his performance. He got an assist. And as the starting lineup is predicted, but the only change that was there was Declan Rice, who started on the bench, and Mikel Merino started the game, which is a good thing because we can rotate players when we need to. A good thing for Dec. He came on as a sub as well. Maybe it's a big week coming up, our first Champions League game, and then we have City on the weekend, which is it's going to be a big game for us, especially how City performed over the weekend against United, which United were shit anyway. So, and then, again, unfortunately, Odegaard got an injury in his shoulder. Again, the same shoulder that he got an injury. I was hoping that he going to get a great performance in this game. We're taking the momentum from his international break performances for Norway. I think we asserted our dominance very early in the game, controlling the ball and pushing them back. The Forest are a good defensive side. I think they are very good defensively and how very good at transition. Maybe the new coach, they weren't sure. They are still not sure what he wants out of them and how he wants them to play in Ange. But I think we were really good. In terms of the goals, I think Zubi's Waldy, Zubimendi's volley, that was such a good goal. Just before that goal, earlier, I think Nwaneri had a similar chance around a similar area of the pitch, but he hit the crowd of players. I think also with the goal, there was we had 3 or 4 corners in a row where we put the pressure in. And then when they finished that, great goal for him. And then the second goal, Victor Gyökeres especially, is predicted. I think it was a great, well worked team goal. I think Zubimendi was at left centre back deep, played the ball over the top, and found Eze. I think the defender misjudged it. And then first time cross with his left foot on Gyökeres part to finish. Great goal, quick. And then we played a few times that way. I think with Calafiori's positioning as well. I think he tried I think they switched a few times in the first half, towards the end of the first half, with Gabriel, where Gabriel will be on the outside at left back position, and Calafiori will be more at left centre back, which was good. And then the third goal came in late when we started making subs. I think it was a set piece that was meant for Declan probably to shoot it goal, but Forrest pressed very quickly and then laid it to Trossard, his first touch of the game. He chipped it over, and Zubimendi there on the double, bang, goal, 3-0 game over. In terms of overall performance, we were really good. I think control most of the game. Forrest didn't offer anything in attack except for one chance where I think it was their right winger crossed in and then Wood chested it over Raya, but a great save from David. Probably the only chance they had at Raya, who played his 100 game, 42 clean sheet, which is an amazing record to keep 42 clean sheets in 2 seasons. That's great. And playing so many games for the club, which is really good. To highlight how good he is as a goalkeeper. Probably one of the best, if not the best, goalkeeper in the league. Yeah, it was a great game. I think some of the prior players I highlighted as going to be top performers to look forward to. Key players, Mosquera, who really who had a great performance, flawless. I think his ability to read the game, and I think clearance, diving header clearance, which I was impressed with. Another one in that chance that Forrest had is he had a mix up with Timber and ball spun into Hudson-Odoi, and then he won the tackle. I was impressed by him. Great talent. I think he made a great Saliba impression, and he's taken in his opportunity as well. And also, he has the ability to make the passing through the lines, forward passing through the lines. He's very good at that. He made a few of those passes, either to Zubimendi, Nwaneri, or Odegaard when he was still on the pitch. It was really, really good. I was impressed by him. Odegaard, one of the key players I highlighted, but unlike he was injured in the first 15 minutes and he had to be subbed off. And Ethan came in, was really impressed again. Was very composed, picking up the ball from deep, carrying it, playing a lot of triangles with his right-hand side forward with Timber and Madueke. It was good. He had a few chances to take shots at goal as well. His think is very, very around the box. He takes shots and doesn't think about anything. Things like a striker. Another player is a top performance from him, as mentioned before. Ability to carry the ball as well, drop a shoulder, beat his man, combining. I think he's going to be a top player for us. And then another player, Madueke, I think he was my man of the match for the game. I think his ability to go again, his repeat action, his ability to have repeat actions, taking on his fullback. Every time he gets the ball, he goes forward. He can go inside, he can go outside on his right foot. He crosses. He didn't take much shots in this game, but he was crossing a lot. I think dinging into the far post. His corners as well. That's another bow in his string. I think this guy is going to develop to be a top player. I was really impressed. The best was him, the fans singing his name, which is wonderful for him. I hope he's going to continue to create a lot of chaos in these games. I think we usually get Saka doubled and tripled, but I think this guy He's quick, he's strong, quick feet as well. And then his ability to go both ways is very, very key. Yeah, amazing performance, 3-0 win, 3 points. And we go to the next game next week against City. And then to the Champions League game. We're at Bilbao this weekend. I got a glimpse of their game against Alaves. They weren't that great. They lost 1-0 at home in La Liga. Not a great performance by them, I think. But going into this game, first game, Champions League game, the crowd will be up for it. The players will be up for it. But they are missing Nico Williams, who's their key players. And there will be a lot of probably booing for the Real Sociedad players, former players. Mikel Arteta, a former Sociedad player, Bass Boy, Zubimendi, Mikel Merino, Odegaard, unfortunately won't be there. And also there's a big contingent of Spanish players. Raya, Kepa, if he plays, Mosquera as well, who probably play in that game. Yeah, but yeah, man, we played them in preseason as mentioned. It was a good game, but I think we were more ready than they were at the time. We beat them, but it won't have a lot of influence. But this game will be much tougher, especially it's the first game of the Champions League because everyone is looking to start well. In terms of the Arsenal, in terms of the news for injury front, Mikel mentioned that we won't have Odegaard. Ben White as well is missing. I think it was on the bench for the weekend, but is missing again. We have Saka, Havertz, Jesus. We're missing the game. Saliba will be available, which is good news, and Norgard as well. In terms of team selection, there's a lot of decisions to make, and so with an eye on the Man City game on Sunday, I think one position, it's also because Saliba is available, maybe we'll want him to start him to get rhythm going to the City game, and also because Ben White is missing, you'll probably keep Mosquera on the bench to cover Timber at right back and start Saliba at centre back. Maybe that will happen, or we will start Mosquera, and then maybe if the game goes well, change it up, push Mosquera to right back and sort of rest Timber. And then there's quite a few others. Another selection will be at 10. Question mark because Odegaard is missing. We've seen already there's an option of using Merino as a third midfielder. Naneri, does he trust him to start the game, or does he move Eze in, which will also influence who he selects on the left wing with Trossard and Martinelli available. So those are some of the questions. Maybe a left back as well, with Luis Kelly hasn't started any games this season. With Calafio starting everything, maybe you will give Luis Kelly the start. What about Hincapié as well? He hasn't played any minutes. Probably we'll see him playing tomorrow. And then my predicted starting 11 would be David Raya. Obviously, I had thought of giving Kepa a game, maybe, yeah, okay, but I'll go with Raya. Because you want to start well in this game, you want to pick the strongest team that we have and the guys that you know and you trust. Not that he doesn't trust the other players. And then we'll have Timber, Luis Kelly left back. I'll take Calafio out of the limelight a bit. He played in the national break as well, so one game for each. And then Saliba and Gabriel at centre back. Give Saliba the game so that he gets some game time to go for Sunday, and then Mosquera will be cover for Timber and centre back as well. And then Zubimendi bring back Rice in midfield to give him some rhythm as well going into Sunday. And then I'll give Ethan the start in this game because I don't want him to make a lot of changes in the midfield. He had a great performance against Forest, even when he played against Leeds as well. I'll trust him to give Noneri. And then we'll have Eze and Madueke. Great wing partnership. Lot of threat from both sides. And Eze's first Champions League game, I will give him. And Victor Gyökeres up front. Champions League, score his first goal. Yeah, that's my team that I'm selected. Hopefully we dominate position. I think our physicality should be key part, especially with Declan Rice and our defense. And then our midfield is Zubimendi, who's used to the players. And then the forward line, I think they impressed me last weekend, especially Gyökeres. Yeah, I think he's getting fitter now. You can see with his running, and as he's getting used to his team, I think they are also getting used to him. They know how to find him. The chance where he had, where he got a pass from Eze on the left hand side, ran into the defender, took on his defender, cut inside, went and passed it wide to Madueke, held it up a bit. Victor made a run around. Madueke laid it for him, took a shot, hit the post, which was great play as well from both. Yeah, I think. And he laid some balls off Merino in the first half, I think. It was a great laid off, but Merino delayed. He had a great game as well, Merino, last weekend. Looking forward to this game. Hopefully we can beat them at least. Score 3 goals, 3-1. I think we can win this game. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support and for watching this podcast. Come on, you Gunners.